Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and that's a tank you don't see me driving very often, because I totally hate it. It's the Indien-Panzer, and surprising in a number of ways, because I did actually have some good games in this thing, and quite liked it on the test server. But on the live server, it just doesn't seem to have the same results. Not when I'm driving it anyway. Yeah, it's making that grind out to the Leopard prototype painful. And I don't know, I just don't understand why I don't like this tank very much. It's got a great gun. It's reasonably fast and manoeuvrable. It doesn't have any armour, of course, but it's a medium tank. Yeah. And I'm platooned up here with Circumflexes in his T69, who is about to have a very, very bad day. Look at the beating he's taking there. T69 is another one of those tanks. And again, I have not driven the T69. And I know there are people out there that absolutely love it. And for good reason. It's the first of the American autoloading mediums. But the gun is... well, I don't know. The penetration is bad unless you're firing premium ammo. And it doesn't have an awful lot of firepower. What damage it does do, it does quickly, but it doesn't really have the firepower in its magazine to take anybody out. It's very much a predator of a tank, kind of like a vulture. A vulture isn't a predator, a carrion eater. There you go, lurking around. There's one. Lurking around, looking for wounded tanks to finish off, or backing up other tanks with bigger guns. We shall have to see. I will get one eventually, but I'm not really in any rush. So, Indien-Panzer. I mean, you know, look at it move. It's one of the more agile of the German tanks, and I like mobile tanks. But I just don't like this one, and I cannot figure out why. Despite the decent speed and the good manoeuvrability, there's a noticeable feeling of inertia with this tank. When you try to stop, it seems to resist coming to a halt. You know, it feels like a heavy tank in the way that it responds to control input. Perhaps I just haven't gotten used to that yet. But the gun is good. No question about that. It's better than the long 88 that you get on the Tiger 2, the Tiger, and the Panther 2. No question about it. Sneaky little shot into the ass. Oh, get another one off quickly. Get out of there. Yep. Oh, hello. He's brought a friend. Am I going to reload in time? Yes, I am. Okay, we've got this side. I'm going to pop up on the high ground and see if I can see what I can spot. It's got good view range, this thing, although perhaps popping up here now is a little redundant. Everybody's moving forward, but this thing does have pretty good gun depression as well, actually. In fact, for a German tank, it's got very good gun depression. So positions like this are not a bad idea for this tank. The turret armour is garbage, it really, really is. That gun mantlet just never seems to stop anything. I have bounced shots on this machine, but it's usually the upper glacis at a very, very sharp angle. Shots that are going to bounce regardless of the armour thickness, all due to the angle of impact. You definitely don't want to be relying on your armour when you're driving the Indien-Panzer. Oh, bloody hell, there's only 3 of them left. There's the scumbag. Oh, no. I could have had that shot. Probably wouldn't have killed him, but... yeah. Now there's only 2 of them left, and no, he's doomed. And it's not going to be me to get the kill. Now, all they have left, once we've dealt with the artillery, is an IS-3. And again, don't know why I don't like this tank. Look at it move. It's a fast, manoeuvrable medium with a good gun. What is not to like? And I just... I can't explain it. I have absolutely no idea what it is about this tank that just puts me off. Perhaps it's just because I haven't really had a great game in this thing yet. And that can be a factor. But there aren't many German tanks, other than the Leopards, where you could have been as far away from this IS-3 and still managed to get there in time to steal the kill. So perhaps the Indien-Panzer does have something going for it after all.
Let's get this show on the road.
But enough of the Indien-Panzer. Let's have another game on this map in a tank that I really, really do like. The T-30, Tier 9 American tank destroyer, unquestionably has the worst gun of any of the Tier 9 tank destroyers. Hell, you could argue the case that some of the Tier 8 tank destroyers have a better gun than the 155mm gun on this thing. And yet, I love this machine. Which is, you know, kind of strange when you look at something like the Indien-Panzer, which has all of the attributes that I really, really like in a medium tank, and yet I do not like the Indien-Panzer. And then you look at the T-30, which has the worst gun of any of the Tier 9 tank destroyers, and yet this is one of my favourite Tier 9 tank destroyers. I actually prefer driving this thing to my Jagdtiger, and I loved my Jagdtiger. The gun on the Jagdtiger is way better than this. I mean, it's much more accurate, it aims faster, it fires faster, the DPM is so much better. And yet, you know, it's real hard to argue with 750 average damage. Of course, it's not the only tank destroyer that gets a gun that does 750 average damage. The ISU-152 gets the BL-10 at Tier 8, and the BL-10 on the ISU at Tier 8 is a better gun than the 155mm on the T-30 at Tier 9. The BL-10 on the Object 704 is even better still. The T-95, the non-turreted American Tier 9 tank destroyer, gets this gun, but a better version of it. And yet I don't care. I mean, I love the T-95, but I would rather be driving the T-30 because it's not just about the gun, it's the whole package. Yeah, the BL-10 on the ISU and the Object might have better penetration, it might have better aiming time, they're just all-round better guns, but they don't have turrets. The T-95 doesn't have a turret. The T-95 isn't mobile. This thing, it's very much a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. There isn't really any one thing that... Well, actually, that's not true. There are two things that this thing does excel at. Gun depression and turret front. Hull down, this thing is a monster. It's an absolute monster. And after playing the T-28 prototype at Tier 8, which I did like, I really did like my T-28 prototype, even though it's one of the worst grinds in the game. Oh, stand by for one of the worst shots ever. Yeah. 45-degree angled, sloped upper glacis of a Tiger II at that range. That shot was never going to penetrate, regardless of what gun was doing the shooting. And speaking of guns, I do keep saying that the T-30 has the worst gun of any of the Tier 9 tank destroyers, and you know, you've got to take this into perspective. Just because this gun isn't as good as the BL-10, or the gun on the Jagdtiger, or the Tortoise, or the Foch, that doesn't mean it's a bad gun. It's a good gun that just has the misfortune of sitting at a tier where the other tank destroyers have fantastic guns. But again, it's not all about the gun in a tank destroyer. The machine itself, the weapon system, is a complete package. It's the mobility, it's the turret front, it's the gun depression, it's the fact that this thing actually has a turret. There are places on maps that you just would not go in any other tank destroyer that the T-30 doesn't really have a problem with. You wouldn't consider cresting a ridge in the Object 704 or the Tortoise, knowing that there were guns waiting for you on the other side. You can do that with the T-30. It's got the gun depression and the turret front to absorb the fire. And, oh, hello. Oh, aim. Oh, yeah. There you go. Difficult to argue with 750 average damage. And yeah, it does have a very long reload, but it's got the ability to get itself safely out of the firing line and back into cover when you reload that shot. And we're back up. Come on, little leopard prototype. Are you feeling brave? Now, where's he gone? Now, he's got a nasty gun as well. But I'm undamaged, and I finally started to get into this battle. Started to do some damage and make my presence felt. He's a one-shot kill for me now, so and he knows I'm going to have reloaded, so there's no way he's going to poke back out. On the other hand, he's going to be waiting for me. So, yeah. Let's go elsewhere. And you can relocate surprisingly quickly in the T-30. I mean, it's no Foch 155, but you're surprisingly adept at being able to react and respond to changing and evolving threats on the map. And there's a Panther 2 that needs killing. Good night. Now, unfortunately, the Panther 2 will have radioed my position to any of these guys waiting around this corner. They got a T-28 prototype. A black... Oh, Tiger 2. Now, I would have been quite happy to take a shot from a Tiger 2, but getting hit by the Leopard prototype, who'd relocated all the way back there, that came as a nasty surprise. So I've taken as much damage as I've dealt here. That's not good. Also, artillery. Now this is a mistake. Could have been a lot worse. Wouldn't have expected the Leopard prototype to miss. I rushed the shot on the Leopard prototype, didn't have much of a shot at him in the first place, and I took some damage without being able to respond. On the bright side, it wasn't the Leopard prototype that hit me, so I've still got a good hit left in me. I'm not out of this yet. And now, what's this AMX-48 doing? Well, if he's going to rush the corner and take all the hits for me, I'm going to take advantage of it while they're all shooting at him. And get this Leopard prototype first. And, yeah. Was it really worth losing all of your health just to do 33 damage to a Tiger 2? I mean, I'm not complaining. If he hadn't charged in, I would have had to do it. There's still a T-28 prototype up there, though. Yep. Well, rather you than me. Did as much as I could to support him, but my gun only fires so often. Now, T-28 prototype. I know where he was, but I'm more concerned about the artillery. So I have to keep moving. The artillery is likely to be up behind the T-28 prototype. However, you know, the important part of that phrase is likely to be up behind the T-28 prototype. If he is, he's not going to have a shot at me while I'm round here. If he's not up behind the T-28 prototype, I could be in some serious trouble. So let's not get complacent. Let's keep moving. There we go. Good hit. And he misses. And that was going to bounce even if he had hit, because the only thing he could shoot at was my turret front. Now he's going to reload faster than me, but even if he hits me, he's not going to kill me. He doesn't have the firepower for it. Not with his 120mm. And he got the shot off, but I needed to let this gun aim. I mean, you've seen what happens with this gun when you don't let it fully aim. You just miss, and then you suffer for it. So got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. We know where they're... Quickie baby's over there. Engaged. with their ST1. There it is. He's just spotted him. I'm trying to find their artillery. There he is. Oh, he's missed. He's missed. Right. I can take my time now. No need to rush this shot. And there is no way he's getting away from me. And there we go. A sneaky 4,000 damage. Now it's just a question of waiting for Quickie Baby to finish off that ST1. And everyone's a winner in this game. The guys in the capture circle cap to 100%. Quickie Baby nails the last tank. Everybody gets their kills. Everybody's a winner. One map, 2 different tanks, 2 good games. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Take care. I'll catch you next time.